Hello, everyone. Welcome to Patriots 3 Life, Liberty, Pursuit of Happiness. And here's your host, Tim and Matt. Matt, I know it's been a rough time. Just before we got on stage, there was some tech issues going on. So there might be some F bombs tonight. So I'm not even going to ask Matt how he's doing tonight. I know better.
Thank you.
So we're going to be talking about tonight. Well, our show is called a Vigilant Review on Culture, but we're going to be talking about a Vigilant Review on a movie that was banned in Germany. I recently saw it on Twitter, and yes, my Twitter account is still banned, or X as it's known as now. But a good friend of mine shared to me the link over this. I think it was Friday. They shared it with me, and I went ahead and wow, the first movie I watched this year, in a couple of years actually, it seems. We're going to be talking about. We're going to be talking about today's culture. We're going to be talking about the recent Supreme Court rulings. There's a few of them that have come up on the table. So that's been some interesting things, and it's all going to fit right in. But I want to give a shout out to our friend, good old Pastor Jerry Cook. Pastor Jerry actually last Thursday had a really wonderful show, and in part of his show, he actually talked about the root problem of socialism. I definitely would highly advise for you to catch that on Politics in the Pulpit. You can catch it live on Wednesdays at 2 p.m. Pacific, or you can also catch it on Rumble. And I'm going to go ahead and drop the Rumble link right here into the chat. And yeah, Jerry's a good guy, and that's actually how I met Matt.
Indeed, Jerry is a wonderful human being.
Yes, he is. It's been quite a while since I've seen Jerry in person. Yeah, I definitely want to see Jerry again in the future. I went over to one of his Christmas sermons. That was in 2022. So that was really wonderful. Great to meet him in person as well. I heard a lot about him prior to and after the fact. So Matt, you've been an inspiration.
Hey, welcome to the club.
Yes.
Welcome to the club.
I've been joining this club since I was about 15 years old. I just I'm going to get rid of it. I had like this long hippie hair, and then I just buzz it right down the middle because there's no going back after that.
You're a poor soul. Mine was taken away from me.
Mine grows back.
My first tour in Iraq, I would take off my helmet and be coated in hair.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, so I have that thyroid issue to where my hair does fall out on its own, but luckily, it all grows back, and I have a little bit of a receding hairline, but not terrible. In fact, I shaved it this morning, and it's already coming back. I'm just like, why?
Yeah. That's my hairline. There is no hairline.
Aha. My grandfather, a U.S. Marine, he always kept his head bald, so.
I'm just grateful I can actually look pretty good with it, so.
So, Matt, you saw that movie, CitizenVigilante?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
What was your take on this movie? And also, I'm going to make a quick announcement here that we are not promoting any vigilant acts or violence of such nature, just to be on the safe side of things. We're giving our opinion on a movie that was promoted by Elon Musk. So, YouTube, back off.
Yeah, it's actually on. I think it's on Amazon Prime now too.
Oh wow!
I'm not mistaken. I did see it there. I'm pretty sure I saw it there. Yeah, my honest assessment or my honest review is this: from a plot standpoint, let me just break that. Like overall, it was a cheap and cheesy version of the Punisher and or Batman.
Okay, I caught Batman right away. Yes.
It was a low budget film, obviously, which is not discriminating against low budget films at all.
Right.
However, just because it's a low budget film doesn't mean you can skimp out on really cheap, easy details. Now, so this is coming from a police officer's perspective, right?
Yeah.
This guy's a vigilante. He's operating below the law, or above it, below it, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And he is committing acts of violence. He's killing people. He's torturing people, all that stuff like that. So in order to get your mission accomplished, you don't want to get caught, right?
Correct.
So it's a white dude with brown hair, and he's making these videos, right? This whole movie is a good chunk of this movie is cuts to him talking to the video, justifying his actions and releasing these videos to the public. Now, in these videos, he does two things. One, he blurs his face and he changes his voice.
Yeah.
However, when he blurs his face, it's so poorly pixelated that you can clearly see it's a white dude with dark hair, dark eyes, and no
Right.
facial hair.
Right.
And the voice altering isn't really very effective. So if you don't want to get caught, maybe, I don't know, wear a mask and sunglasses in your videos and still
V,
pixelate it
V
and
for
change your
Vendetta.
voice.
V for Vendetta did
Come
a
on,
better
dude.
job.
It's that, to quote Deadpool, is lazy writing.
Yeah.
Now, when he kidnaps the judge, so there's a scene where he kidnaps a judge.
Yeah.
You know, he drugs him, takes him out into the middle of nowhere, and basically stages a suicide for him. He kills him. He slits his wrist, pours fucking booze on his body, which anybody pouring booze on the body does not make somebody think, oh, he just got drunk and killed himself, because they're going to do a tox report and they're not going to find any booze in his blood. So there's that. But also, you're in the judge's car, you're wearing a police officer's uniform, but your DNA is all over that car, because why? You're not wearing gloves.
Right.
You're not wearing gloves. So your
there's some
DNA is
things.
all over the body. It's all over the car. Why this guy wasn't caught in like 2 days before he did anything is beyond me.
Yeah.
So that's issue number one I take. That's, again, lazy writing. That's easily accomplished with little to no expense on your budget. But also, as far as the plot goes, there's two things that stand out to me that was really unnecessary. One, the sex scene with the prostitute didn't serve anything for the plot. It just made him out to look like it took away from his vigilantism.
Yeah.
Or his righteous vigilantism. But another thing that took away from his righteous vigilantism even more so was you slaughtered 25 cops.
Yeah.
In literally cold blood. And again, if you had done just a little bit of research into not getting caught by, easily identifiable in your videos, easily identifiable by your DNA, they wouldn't have caught you. And you wouldn't have had to kill the cops.
Right.
Because what does killing cops have to do with vigilantism? I understand the judge.
Yeah.
I understand the judge part, because he totally shamed the judge for, like, hey, this is you on camera, basically letting these kids go.
Yeah.
So as far as my review goes, again, very cheap and cheesy version of the Punisher and or Batman. That being said, that doesn't take away from the core premise of the plot. And the core premise of the plot was Europe and America have a very bad problem with mass immigration, mass migration, and taking in all these people unvetted from places that are not our friends, right?
Right.
I'm not talking about Mexico. I'm not talking about, generally speaking, South America. Those are filled with a lot of gangsters and narco-terrorism. I understand that.
Yeah.
But from the Middle East and Africa, there are dedicated tribes of terrorists, documented terrorists, that have infiltrated the United States.
Yeah.
Now, intelligence estimates show that roughly 20 to 40,000 known terrorists have come in through under Biden's immigration policies.
Right.
Now, to put that into perspective, that is 20 to 40,000 people. For the average person, an Army division, for example, right? It's roughly 10 to 15,000 people. A Marine Corps division, give or take, about the same thing.
Yeah.
So you have roughly 2 to 3 divisions of trained terrorists trained in asymmetrical warfare.
Yeah.
That should scare the shit out of everybody.
Yep.
But furthermore, all these radicals who aren't necessarily part of a terrorist group but subscribe to radical Islamic fundamentalism, that rape women, that do, religious killings and all that stuff like that. Clearly, they're all over the place, right?
Right.
And they have committed a lot of crimes, especially in England and France. They have a very big problem. The rapes have gone up exponentially. Knife attacks, justice killings, it's through the roof. So when the left criticizes this movie as, oh, this just stirs up fear and Islamophobia. No, actually, no, that doesn't. What
No.
stirred up fear and Islamophobia was all these people committing all these heinous acts unchecked, and you guys
Right.
letting them do it, letting them go, and
Right.
telling us that we should be ashamed for thinking that, um, these are bad people or anything like that. And it goes, and this kind of breaks off into a separate argument,
Okay.
especially when it comes to the United States.
Yeah.
Immigration no longer has any value to this country, and I say that because there's no motivation for them to assimilate to our culture.
Right.
America, when they say America is a melting pot, I disagree. America is not a melting pot, in a good way, I should say.
Correct. Yeah.
American culture and American values should never be dissolved, diluted, or anything like that.
Right.
Everybody that comes into this country should strive to be an American, not an African American, not an Italian American, not a Mexican American, not
Right.
anything. Theodore Roosevelt said there is no such thing as you or I'm getting the language wrong, but it's like there should be no 50-50 allegiance to this country. You're either an American or you're not,
Right. Right.
right? And I firmly believe in that. And I'm not saying that immigration should stop or we should stop taking immigrants, but we should demand more from our immigrants. We're one of the only countries on the face of the earth that don't have a nationally recognized language.
Right.
Most other countries do, and you know I put this up, and I'll offer it for the readers. I know we're segueing a little bit, but
It's good.
America should establish English as its primary and only language, and
Right.
all government documents need to be written in English. That's
Yes.
it. That's it. I'm tired of having to press one for English or two for English. I'm tired of having all these letters, like, the ballots that they get mailed to you in California.
Oh
There's
gosh.
10
Yeah.
different languages on them.
Yeah.
It would save money if you only printed in one language.
Right.
It takes away the motivation for the immigrants to assimilate to this country because they don't have to learn English anymore. They're
Right.
just
Yeah.
going to speak their language. Like when my family came over from Italy and Sicily,
Yeah.
in 1913, my great grandparents told my grandparents, who were kids at the time, you will not speak Italian outside of this house.
Yeah.
English only. You will only speak Italian to me because that's all I understand. I'm too old to learn English. But you need to learn English and you need to speak English. And
I had
that
a
was
Portuguese
that was
neighbor in her early 90s. Yeah,
right.
she was in her early 90s, and she said that her parents only allowed the kids to speak American in the home.
Yeah. And it wasn't just Western European immigrants who did that.
Right.
Everybody who immigrated in the 20s, the 10s, the 20s, the 30s, and even the 40s were
Yeah.
all of the same mindset.
Yeah.
You will speak English. You
Yeah.
will conform to American culture. Now, inserting your culture into our culture, it's not a problem. Like Italians, you go to the East Coast, Italians and Irish are two of the biggest, ethnic groups out there, and their
Yeah.
traditions run deep. St. Patty's Day, like all that stuff. I'm not saying you
Right.
can't bring that here with you, but
Right.
you cannot force that as that's it. You're one and done. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like I'm sorry. It may sound a little harsh, but and again, going back to what the movie is,
Yeah.
the movie is shows a complete rejection of radical ideological migration.
Yeah.
Because what that character said at the end, the father of the family,
Yeah.
yes, he's an actor and he read his lines, but that is 100% true. That is 100% true. There's Muslim immigrants in the United States who say, no, we're not here to assimilate. We're here to take over.
Yeah.
It's said openly. And the left is they're useful idiots because we're being told like, hey, we're Islamophobes. For I'm not necessarily afraid of Muslim immigrants. I'm afraid of what they could because I fought these guys. I know what they're
Yeah.
capable of. And unfortunately, the left is completely tone deaf to what is being inflicted on our culture in our society.
Yeah.
These people are not here to make friends. These people are here to take over. Not all of them, but all the radical ones. And you can say like, well, who's a radical and who's a moderate? The problem with Muslims, with Islam in general, is there's not a lot of Muslims in the world. I think I don't know. There's I forget the lady. I think her name is Bridget Clark or something like that. She's an immigrant, but she dealt with it. The problem is the radical Islamic uh, percentage out of Muslims in the world makes
Yeah.
up roughly 20%.
Okay.
Then you take the moderates, they make up roughly 30%, but the moderates agree with some of the stuff that the radicals do. They just don't subscribe to a lot of the the tactics, like beheadings and shit like that, but they still are sympathetic to it. And so they're not going to hold that. So you got roughly half the Muslim population who are totally allowing all this stuff to go on because they agree with it.
Wow. Yeah, I'm
This
hearing a
movie
lot of.
serves as a complete rejection of that ideology.
Yeah. Yeah. So for the better understanding of the plot of the movie, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. It felt like a Batman kind of movie, just with today's date on it, and not no comic book Gotham kind of situation.
Yeah.
It was missing quite a few things. Like I noticed immediately when the judge was placed over in his location, he was actually in the passenger seat, which doesn't make sense.
If you're in Europe, the driver's seat should be where the judge is sitting, and the judge
Yeah,
should have been. But I get it. They're in Europe. Everybody speaks English, though,
yeah, yeah.
albeit with an accent. But they did that because they're trying to isolate. Hey, it's Europe in general. France, England. It's a lot of places. But yeah, again,
Yeah.
cheap, cheap budget. Not a shot at low films or anything like that. But there's certain things you could have done to get more plot continuity.
Yeah. It's very unfortunate that some of these European countries have banned gun rights. Australia has done the same thing, and there's an increase of stabbings and rapes. In fact, I'm going to try to do a show with one of my friends from Australia and get her perspective of what's going on, not just her country, but here in the United States, from what they see, what their point of view is. It's quite interesting seeing some of the posts come about, and some of it I find comical, but on the other hand, but I remember, chatting with some friends in Australia back in the early days of, what was it, late 90s, early 2000s. And I remember their perspective on what was going on with Bubba and good old Bill Clinton. We were the laughing stock of the world with that whole thing that happened with Bill Clinton. But there are some interesting things that happened here with the Supreme Court. They granted a cert petition.
They've been busy today. They've been busy the last
Yes,
couple
they have.
days.
Yeah.
And I stand. I was wrong on the gun. I'm thankfully I was wrong. I should say.
Yeah. So I have the whole PDF here, and I'll drop the links into where people can find that. Actually, let me do that right now. So what's this all about here, Matt?
All right, that's for Title IX. So basically, they said states that allow men to compete in sports is unconstitutional. They can't do it.
Okay.
And so that's a huge win for Title IX.
Nice, very nice.
Big. So states can't you can't have men and women sports. Sorry.
That's good.
The Monsanto one was a big disappointment.
Yeah, that was a huge
kind of a disappointment too on a broader scale because Trump's EPA fought for that decision.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it's a lot of people because now we can't all these other Roundup and all these other chemical companies for cancer or anything like that.
Yeah. Hey, bud, is your phone nearby?
Yeah.
We're gonna try something different with Matt in just a moment. I'll go ahead and keep talking for a moment, but I'll be right back.
Yeah, you got it. All right. What are we gonna talk about? I don't have control of the screen, so I'll on a couple things. Besides the Monsanto and the EPA deal and the timeline thing, one thing that can be taken into consideration as far as the Supreme Court has been lately is It has completely rejected the left's claim that the Supreme Court is illegitimate because it's all a bunch of Trump appointees and they're going to do whatever he says. The Supreme Court I don't know, probably last year, I'd say, has handed major victories, but also some major defeats. Especially the one in the Jean Carroll case. When it came to the sexual allegations that she alleged against him in a civil court. So I reject completely the left's claim that the Supreme Court is illegitimate and and all the decisions they make are illegitimate because they handed the left some major victories today too, in a sense of the birthright citizenship. They slammed the door. They slammed the door hard.
Yeah.
And the left continues to attack the Supreme Court actually too, because like this is proof they decided the dissenters like, hey, these four dissenters are proof that the Supreme Court is.
Hold on for just a second, Bud. Your audio has been cutting out. That's why I said we're going to try something a little different in just a moment. That's why I was asking you if you had your phone nearby.
Oh yeah, I do.
We've been having some tech issues for a good part of the day.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go ahead and get that audio squared away in just a few moments here because I'm a technician and I know how to do things.
All right, let's do it.
So I'm waiting for my phone to boot up here. All right, and wait for all the gazillion notifications to show up.
Fault.
No, it's not. Oh, I understand. You've had a long week. I've had a long week, and well, you know what? The show goes on, and we will continue rolling on the best of our capabilities.
Absolutely.
So let's see here. While I clear my gazillion notifications, because I just barely turned on this phone for the first time in the last couple of days, I want to do some things here for Matt as we still look at that PDF that's on screen. And let's find Matt here. All right.
Please leave your message for 818.
Hey, Matt, you got to answer your phone, bud. I'm calling you from a different line.
Please leave your message for 818.
Oh, there he is. I just got the finger pointing upward direction. I want to remove that PDF off screen. Okay, now I'm going to give him a call and we're going to get some audio back and hopefully it'll be better. Oh yeah, you got to turn down the audio on your computer. Turn it down all the way. Your audio is coming through your phone now.
There you go.
Okay, now we have video. Now we have audio. All right, we got the problem solved here. Excellent. And it's in real time.
Very good. Yeah. Once again, I'd like to apologize for the.
No apologies needed. It's been a rough week, and there's been a lot of technical issues going on for a lot throughout this entire year. I got a couple of phone calls even like 20 minutes before tonight's podcast started. Asking
it's frustrating because I forgot to plug in my computer today, so it wasn't charged. And then I come out, I got a new camera, so the camera was working great, and then it stopped working, then it worked again, then it stopped working, then my microphone didn't work because I had to it was one thing after another.
Yeah, I get it.
And it was, oh my God.
But yeah, I mean, I used to do some interesting radio shows using the technology you're talking to me on right now. Anyways.
Yeah.
But yes, I'm the kind of guy that will pull old tech in with new tech and make things work.
Hey, whatever makes it work, man. It's all good.
Exactly.
Well,
exactly.
Like I said,
where'd you leave off on as far as we were talking about the Supreme Court, and you were starting to talk about the what is that other big one that happened earlier today? You were
Birthright Citizenship.
Yes, the Birthright Citizenship. So let me bring up a short little video here of Trump talking about in regards to that, which I can just tell you right now, he's hugely disappointed. Now we'll fill in some afterthoughts on this.
Accept it's the Supreme Court, so I'll accept. I think it's very bad for our nation. We're the only nation that does it. No other nation does that birthright citizenship. No, not even close. Some did it, they ended it. It's tremendously destructive. It's extremely costly. I don't know. It's up to them. But in terms of for the good of the country, it'd be great if they didn't allow it. It would be great. But I can't tell you. The slaughter case was the big case today. That was really a big case because it gave strength to presidents and strength to the presidency. A very important case. It's been going on for almost 100 years. Think of that. And this was the ruling that really topped everything by a lot today. Yeah.
So I have a question for you, Matt.
Yeah.
If your horse came over into my yard, gave birth to a pony, I different name than pony, I know it, but I can't remember the name of it right now. Yes. Or if your cat came over and gave birth to a litter of kittens, are those litter of kittens mine? Is that a little colt mine?
Well, I guess they are now.
Well, son of a gun. So I got to pay taxes on that too.
Yeah,
that's just the easiest way to putting it.
It is the easiest way to putting it, but also to like again, I'm on the fence on this one in the sense where I agree with the dissenters' arguments on this. However, I don't see, and again, I'm not a constitutional scholar. All right, so don't fucking murder me in the comments here.
Okay.
But as far as the 14th Amendment goes, it's pretty clear about who's a citizen and who's not.
Yeah.
If you're born in this country, you're a citizen.
Yeah.
Flat out. If you're born in the country, you're a citizen. No matter who you are, you're that person is a citizen.
Yeah.
Now I disagree with that. I think we should change that. However, the chances of us passing a constitutional amendment at this stage is next to zero. It's close to zero. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
And I mean, we can't even get the SAVE Act freaking passed.
Right.
The Republic. Now we're segueing, but I'll end it there. But
I mean, out of all honesty, I think the parents that come over, should apply for citizenship prior to the child's birth. That would actually, create a little bit more of a wanting to be a citizen and having a whole family as citizens. Just even having that application in there.
Yeah, I mean, there's one thing that we can do. One thing we can do about this, and we can do this legally. It's not an issue. We just issue new immigration policy in the sense that we are not allowing anybody that's pregnant into this country. I mean, you can say, period. Hey, if you're pregnant, get the fuck out.
Yeah.
We're sitting. No, we're not doing this. But especially because China is a big time violator of this. Because what they do is they fly people in, fly these chicks in. They're pregnant. They're pregnant as hell. They put them in their embassy. They can't be touched.
Right.
And they give birth in an American hospital. Boom. There you go. There's your anchor baby.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you're pregnant, we don't let you in.
Right.
Sorry.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's easy to screen. Hey, if you're showing, bye. See you later. Get out. I don't care. I don't look. When it comes to immigration, I've had it.
Yeah.
I've absolutely had it. I understand it. Like, I've got a couple friends who, their spouses are immigrants, and they're all legal immigrants.
Yes.
They came in legally. They waited in line. They paid the fees and all that stuff. We can have a conversation on reforming our immigration laws and everything like that, but it's never going to happen because both parties want illegal immigration because it makes them money.
Yeah.
It keeps them in power.
Right.
So we're never going to get a solution to that problem. But illegal immigration is morally abhorrent. Yeah. And I say that because how many thousands of people waited in line, paid the thousands of dollars it took to get the process going and to go through that process. That is a slap in their face.
Yeah.
That is an outright slap in that face. And it's fucking robbery at that point. You robbed them of an opportunity. Like, you got in for free. You got legal status for free.
Yeah. Because
everybody's like, hey, pathway to citizenship. What do you tell everybody that's currently in line right now? In the queue line for their bare minimum for their green card. What do you tell those fucking people when you say, yeah, we're going to do a pathway to citizenship for everybody in the country illegally? That's not an argument from a white dude.
No.
That's not an argument from a natural born citizen. That's an argument from a rational standpoint. It's not fair to everybody else who waited in line for you to just fucking cut them off.
Yeah.
That's bullshit.
And even for those that did legally immigrate, it's still a slap in their face as well. My sister-in-law.
No,
from
yeah,
Peru
100%. Yeah, if you're in the line or were in the line and got through,
yeah,
like how is it fair that somebody who got into this country illegally is now getting, you know, Medicare or, you know, medical care? Because, you know, again, you can say that you know, illegal immigrants don't get free healthcare. Well, they fucking do. Yeah. They do, because they get services in the hospital. It's proven that 1 million people are on Obamacare. Just recently, HHS Secretary Kennedy said it. Over 1 million over 1 million illegal immigrants are on Obamacare.
Wow.
So they're getting healthcare, free healthcare. They don't pay tax. Not all of them pay tax. Some of them do pay taxes because the states are violating federal law to allow them to pay taxes. Right. But the point is they're not fully contributing into this economy. Why? Because the overwhelming majority of them are not sending the money to America. They're sending the money home to their families so they can come over.
Yeah.
It's just a rinse and repeat process. This is not me being anti-Mexican or anti-South American or anti-this. This is me being fuck you for jumping the line and fuck you for cutting off everybody else who's paid for it.
Yeah.
And I refuse to pay for your benefit. I refuse.
Yeah.
I'm not going to apologize for that.
So our brother Drophammer says, besides that, the founding fathers made rules against this very thing by, what's that say? Defining who is and who is not a citizen.
Oh, delineating.
Oh, okay. I can't see that far.
By delineating who is and who is not a citizen. No, I agree with that 100%.
Yeah.
But, you know, again, immigration is such a bullshit issue, because we'll spend hours and hours and years and years and years debating this issue, and it's never going to get fixed. Yeah. It will never ever get fixed.
Right. Both
parties are guilty, abhorrently guilty of it. They both campaign on it.
Yeah.
Hey, we're going to fix the immigration. The one thing that Trump did campaign on that he absolutely crushed and nailed, he's like, I'm going to close the border. Yeah. Illegal immigration is almost at zero at this point.
Right.
But that's not good enough.
Yeah. Yeah, there needs to be some more definition coming through the Supreme Court in these regards. And this whole anchor baby thing is the birthright citizenship. So, it's very interesting on all this has been going on for decades now. Probably even longer than that. It was about 4 or 5 years ago. No, about 3 or 4 years ago, actually. As helping out with another show in the background. Chinese were entering through our southern border. There's also other ethnic groups coming through the southern border. So, as you said earlier, it's not Mexicans or Central America. It's some of these other areas that are out to take over the country.
Yeah, Africa, Middle East.
Yes.
Again, it's been documented. The intelligence agencies have all confirmed this.
Yeah.
There's between 20 and 40,000 known, documented terrorists.
Yeah.
Al-Qaeda, ISIS, Al-Shabaab.
Yep.
They've all got in. And again, I can't, look, you have to at least listen to the GWAT veterans out there, at least the GWAT combat veterans, the guys who actually saw combat.
Yeah.
The guys who actually did the fighting and everything like that. We have seen the evil that these people can do. Not just to us, they do it to their own people. Look at Gaza, look at Hamas. They use their people as human shields. I saw that happen in Iraq.
Wow. This
is not an anti-racial or anti-religious viewpoint. This is it. Look, this is what these people are absolutely capable for, and this is what they absolutely will do.
Yeah.
They will absolutely do it. They will hesitate. They will not hesitate.
So
they will not hesitate.
Where's the National Guard on this? Where's Homeland Security on this? That's two of the questions I have. Basically should be the same thing. I don't even know why Homeland Security is here outside of, just to lock down our own citizens. And, we have to do terrible things in order to even take a flight. to.
Well, the National Guard, the posse comitatus, they can't really do any of that. But
Okay.
The federal government failed because we lack the resources. You got the Homeland Security and everything like that, Border Patrol, Customs and Border Protection, all these people, but they're stretched thin as it is. And so to go within the border to try and get these people, I mean, that's going to take, I don't know, amending the law to let the CIA operate on American soil. That'll never happen. Well, I mean, they probably do, but they're not allowed to.
Yeah. So I see another comment here from our brother Drophammer. If you want to read that out loud.
2006, I saw a report from the State Department that said Mexico alone takes 21% of our GDP and exports it back to Mexico through Mexican migrant workers. That's an insane amount. That's not an insane amount. That is an abhorrently retarded, insane amount. I'm sorry, I said the R word. Oh my God, that's so much money.
Yeah.
That is so much money, and we're not getting it. We're not getting it.
Right.
We're not getting it, and we'll never get it back.
Yeah.
And again, we're doing this to ourselves. We're shooting ourselves in the foot by not instituting common sense laws and common sense policies. We are literally the creators of our own demise.
Yeah. It's like we're shooting ourselves in the foot.
I don't even think we're shooting ourselves in the foot. We're killing ourselves.
Yeah.
We're injecting poison into our veins.
Right.
We're riding dirt bikes without helmets.
Yeah.
Like
it's something. I'd rather ride a dirt bike without a helmet versus what's going on. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I say this all the time, like my friends and, sometimes to my family and everything like that. But like, it's a running joke in my community too, because I've been like, fuck this shit. Send me back to Iraq. I don't care. Put me in a fucking gunfight. I don't care. Because at the end of the day, I can control a gunfight.
Yeah.
Yes, we are committing national suicide.
Absolutely,
100%.
Yeah.
We are.
So just to let the people know, I can't see that far. I'm like using this big 55-inch TV, and it's about 4 feet away from me, and I can't see the small print 4 feet away from me. Just to let the audience know. Let's see here. So let's go ahead.
One good thing came out of the Supreme Court today.
Yeah.
Well, another good thing came. That could be good news. Again, when I mentioned earlier in the program, I was wrong. I have repeatedly speculated that the Supreme Court would not take any of the gun cases because they're too afraid.
Right. And
today they granted cert to 2 cases, 2 of the quote unquote hardware cases. Viramontes versus Cook County.
Yeah.
And I can't remember the other one, but they combined both the cases. Both the cases have to do with the ban on so-called assault weapons.
Yeah.
Now there's one thing that's even better about this is when they combine the 2 cases. Now the Supreme Court can take a case and they can cherry pick what they want to actually hear. Yeah. Right. And that's kind of like what they did when they overturned Roe v. Wade. They kind of cherry picked and like found a way to insert Roe v. Wade into that. Now, in this case, they went straight to the crux of the argument.
Yeah.
The question before the court is whether or not the 14th and the Second Amendment allow for assault weapons to be banned.
Okay.
In rough words here, let me find it. Actually, I have it on my Chingus.
Okay.
So let's see.
Yeah, send it on over.
The question presented is whether the Second and 14th Amendments guarantee the right to possess AR-15 platform and similar semi-automatic rifles. Now, the reason why I say that's a good thing is it is extremely narrow and fine-tooth to the core of the argument. They are going straight to it.
Nice.
The downside to that is they will not hear oral arguments until roughly October, and we won't get a decision until roughly June of next year.
Okay. Wow.
So we practically have to wait a year for this decision to come down.
This is like last week's show talking about it. Oh, something's getting investigated. It feels
Yeah.
like the same damn thing. Son of a gun.
It really is, because and also too, this is not a slam dunk for us either.
Right.
Just because we have a 6-3 majority, it doesn't necessarily we're going to win this case.
Right.
I do think it bodes well because, and again, this is pure speculation. I'm not a constitutional scholar, nor am I an expert on the Supreme Court. However, they have limited oral arguments to 1 hour on the issue.
Yeah.
1 hour, just
Wow.
1 hour. Okay. So that seems to me, and again, this is my lowly opinion. That seems to me that the majority court, the conservative majority of the court, already really has made up their minds, and they don't want to belay the topic any further.
Yeah.
So now they're not hearing it today they're not hearing it now because today's the last day of their session. They're going on summer break.
Okay.
And they won't come back until roughly September, October. So this is going to be one of the very first cases that they hear in their next session.
Okay. Wow. So can't wait.
Yeah, literally. And I got to tell you, if I suspect if I get what I suspect we're going to get, which is a strike down of all assault weapons bans, I want to do a special episode of this and show off all my ARs.
All right. So this show will not
That
be
I
on-
don't have. I don't have any. I'm sorry. I don't have any.
Nope.
None whatsoever.
So anyways, this will not be aired on YouTube because we already know what happens on YouTube. This will probably be an exclusive on Rumble and maybe X.
Yeah.
Because X actually fronted me some
Definitely
problems.
X. Yeah. Definitely X. Yeah.
I mean, if I go to my X account, let me show you what comes up on screen. You see that?
Your
right there?
account is suspended.
Yay! Right. Yeah, it's been like that since early February
Yeah. Yeah. It sucks.
for some rule that I didn't break.
It's just going to be it's going to feel so good for so many people because they're going to be like, hey, I can take my undocumented rifle and bring it out to play now.
Right? Yeah. Oh, that's going to be wonderful. Yeah, no, the whole thing with the magazines, if that gets lifted, that's going to be wow.
Well, that we don't know if they're going to hear that case though.
Oh,
none of those
darn.
cases were granted cert. They weren't, as far as I know, they weren't denied either.
Okay.
So what that means is it gets carried over into the next term.
Yeah.
And then they'll decide if they want to hear it then. However, speculation is that they're holding those cases until they hear that the other one, and they might combine the two.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Pure speculation.
Oh, believe me, when it comes to the sidearms, I was on a conversation with a friend of mine who was in his early 80s at the time. He voted for Obama twice. So I'll just give you that little background right there. But he told me if everybody had a sidearm, there would not be as much crime as there is, especially in California.
I don't disagree. I think from a certain standpoint, I'm against open carry.
Okay.
Strictly because from a tactics standpoint, it puts you at a disadvantage.
Yeah.
Because and again, I'm speculating here, but the overwhelming majority of people who open carry have never ever been trained on weapons retention and threats from behind,
right,
and protecting your gun from being taken from you.
Yeah.
Especially with handguns and holsters. You know what I'm saying? Like as a cop, I'm like that was an integral part of our training.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it was bored into our heads. Like you need to protect your gun at all times, because it has happened. Cops have had their guns taken from them and shot with them.
Yeah.
So, and that's a cop. Now take the average citizen, open carrying. I don't know. I'm not necessarily for it, but I'm not going to put a ban on it though.
Right. But I mean, I strongly suggest everybody to train, especially if you own one. And the more training, the more fresh it's going to be in your mind. You're not going to, go off of some training 15, 20 years ago.
Right.
That's not going to do any but good today because, well, yeah, our memories tend to forget things here and there. And if I didn't remember this, cool tech that I have, we wouldn't be hearing Matt right now.
Oh yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah, that's absolutely true.
I mean, my initial test on this whole thing was a camcorder cable. And that was the initial test. I'm talking about some really old tech here that I was using at the time.
Yeah.
Let's see here. I have a LMT Defender. All right, let's see here. What's that say there?
I have an LMT Defender Knights Armament SR25. I hate you. And an HK91. Also hate you again. In bolt guns, I have a Savage 110 long action and 338 Lapua and multiple sidearms. I hate you.
There's true love being spoken right now, ladies and gentlemen. I can hear the tones. Don't worry.
You can dine on a satchel of Richards, good sir. I will say I may or may not have an LWRC, one of the good ones, I should say. SPR. I've got a lot. I got a Staccato P, a Ruger precision rifle in 6.5 Creedmoor. Got a 308 police sniper Remington 700. Benelli M4.
You're all putting me to shame, so hey, relax.
Well, he put his out there. He whipped out his dick. I gotta whip out mine.
Hey, now.
No, it's
I'm feeling a little small here, guys.
Yeah, it's I got a bunch. I think I've got a lot. I haven't counted them, but they're a lot.
Hey, that Grok link, is that tied to your account in any way?
Oh yeah, it's mine.
Okay, so that's yours. Okay, so I won't post that, but everyone was able to see it on screen. So, in regards to the gun policy,
which one are you talking about?
This one right here.
Let me make it bigger.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That can be shared, or is that your private?
No, that's my X account. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's I wouldn't call it a win, but it's a huge step in the right direction. I'm cautiously optimistic, like my brother was saying. Yeah. I am also cautiously optimistic.
Yeah. So with everything that's all been going on with this movie that's come out, I want to get to some psychology when it comes to movies, TV shows, and video games for this matter. Video games is very fitting in this whole category. But with everything that's going on in immigration, with a lot of things that's going on here and other countries as well as ours. I mean, our countries, things are happening, and people don't realize it until you live next door to it. I'm seeing people getting released out of prison, or you should have been still in prison, or should have been still in prison. They're getting released, and just committing heinous crimes. And and some of these people are not legal immigrants, and it's just like a slap on the wrist. Here, find your own way home. Or they come back into the country and commit the same crime again. But with the movies like this, as well as TV shows and video games, they do something psychologically to us. They make us feel like we've done it before, so we don't need to get up and do it again. It's like I played the video game, I saved the princess. Woohoo! I don't have to save the princess. Now you know why there's so many soy boys out there. No, there's more than that to the soy boys thing. There's the whole glyphosate thing, which we just saw earlier. Which is a very, very sad thing. Glyphosate has been actually reported to change gender on certain animals that it was tested on. Glyphosate, good old Roundup. Yeah, that's the stuff right there.
You can look to that Monsanto case.
Yeah, so
that was Roundup. Yeah,
it does a hormone disruption to humans. A great deal of that. I've worked with doctors and medical professionals on other shows, and they've pointed that out, and it's just terrible on everything that is allowed versus what should be banned completely. I can see
common sense.
I mean, a simple salt and vinegar solution in water does a great job on killing weeds. You'll have to look it up for yourself, because I don't know the exact measurements or something of such. But I actually heard from a city worker from the northern part of Colorado that's what they use in their city, which is great. What was it? Last year I was out trimming some broken branches off my tree with an electric limb trimmer, and I'm just sitting there. It sounded like a darn broken lawnmower behind me, and I'm looking behind me, and a big old plume of freaking pesticide coming my direction. There's nothing I can do. My hands are filled with this damn. it's not no Cheech and Chong movie here. I'll tell you that. But I mean, the big old plume of smoke or fumes was heading my direction. I was just like, breathe shallow. There's nothing you could do. I can't just throw this tool down so I can push my wheelchair out of the path.
Yeah.
I mean, there's really no way I can go because the whole thing was just being. I mean, if you ever seen those movies with the mustard gas being hosed down in those areas, that's the way I felt. I was just getting gassed.
Yeah.
I was just outside doing yard work.
I had the same thing happen to me in Iraq, actually. So a lot of times, actually, we, well, not during our first tour, during our first tour.
I'm in the middle of America, brother. This shouldn't be happening.
But we were doing it to ourselves. It was America. We were spraying for mosquitoes, and it was a Humvee that had a special pesticide or chemical tank with a fogger. And what I mean by fogger is like a massive plume of chemicals.
Yeah.
To keep the mosquitoes away. And a couple times a week they went through, and and right next to us.
Yeah.
And I'm like, we breathe all that shit in. And then the burn pits, we breathe all that shit. I mean, we burned everything.
Yeah.
Anything that would burn, we burned it.
Yeah.
I'm talking radio batteries, fucking, everything.
Things.
We burned shit. We burned shit.
Oh man. Yeah, not cool unless it's done at an extremely high temperature. Otherwise, that'd piss off your neighbors.
Yeah, no, it's all the fucking movies, like Jarhead, Platoon. Yeah, we did that. We did that. Absolutely, we did that.
Cooking turds, not cool, man.
Yep. Just pour a bunch of diesel in there and just stir it up.
Yeah, so I totally got gassed in my own yard while doing my own yard work, and there's really no warning. Outside of sounding like a dang broken lawnmower behind me here on our own ground. But I mean, we get this all the time. I mean, you look up in the sky and you see all these, tic-tac-toe marks or whatever in the sky. That's not natural, first of all. And I want to do another show. I want to do another dedicated show. I want to do another show with a friend of mine up in Wyoming in regards to the trails in the sky. I'll just put it that way. But I have seen some various things as reported higher levels of metals in the snowpack in Mount Shasta, Northern California. It's terrible of some of the things that have been found. I'm definitely going to do a dedicated show on that, but I'm not going to get too far into the details of that as of right now. I want to keep some suspense here for
close to the chest.
Yeah, that too. Under the hat. Wait, there's not much there. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, we should probably wrap up pretty quick here. Definitely check out Politics in the Pulpit. It's on Wednesdays. You can find it on Facebook, as well as on YouTube on KHTS. It's at 2 p.m. Pacific with Pastor Jerry Cook. Wonderful show. Really good guy. I definitely highly suggest it. And, my hair will be longer than his before too long. And just to have fun and continue with that little game we started last week. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, how old am I? Drop it in the comments, not in the chat, but in the comments.
Yes, in the comments.
And let us know how we're doing. Give us a rating if you want. 1 to 10 scale.
How well be gentle on today's episode with the technical difficulties, please.
And I've upgraded my flip phone. We're on a smartphone right now.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, so thank goodness for good old tech mixed with new tech.
Yep.
Because definitely don't rate us on today's audio flaw, but rate us on the recovery thereof.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
So definitely tune in this coming Thursday. We're going to have a wonderful return guest on. We're going to be talking about a great deal about the United States Constitution. And ladies and gentlemen, we're coming up on the 250th anniversary of the United States of America, the signing of the Declaration of Independence. So I want to make sure everyone has a great, wonderful, safe celebration of the United States independence.
100%. Happy birthday, America.
Happy birthday, America. All right, until Thursday, ladies and gentlemen, have a safe one.
Have a good one.